Alright, welcome. So today we have Ao Kuang. He's been highly requested and I can see why, because I've been playing a lot of Ao Kuang myself. He's a lot of fun to play. So I want to go into abilities first. Actually, I just want to point out one thing, his water illusion. I have Bancross down in here because it's a flat 100 magical power, and you can see how that translates into his abilities as far as like percentage base. So as you can see here, obviously his one is 70% of your total magical power. Now that's a lot, so don't underestimate the power of the water illusion. So you can use it just the style on people, just blow them up with your one as you just slowly just walk away from them. And it's also really useful if you can't execute somebody just right and you have to get out of the fight or whatever the case may be, just you don't have to execute. So you can just throw your target up in the air, then use your one, and then they'll land right on top of your water illusion. As soon as they do that, go ahead and pop your one, and that will hopefully finish them off. So if you don't have execute available for whatever reason, you can go ahead and try to use something like that. It's like killing somebody with just your Neath backflip. It feels good. So let's actually get into the build. Go ahead and set up Bancross for Conquest. More likely, you're probably juggling for Ao Kuang, so you just go with the Bumba's Mask. That is the jungler starter item. I'm not really sure why it has Wrath on here. It's nobody really uses it too much. Instead, for a relic, I'll probably go into like Sprint to chase down, or Purification, or Sanctuary. One of those three. Maybe you can just blink over a wall and execute somebody. But yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend Wrath. So yeah, go your Bumba's Mask, and then you just go into your boots, the Shoes of Magi. A lot of people go into the Polynomicon right after this. A couple reasons why. For one, that extra 10% lifesteal helps you sustain along with your Bumba's Mask passive. So it's just built-in lifesteal, but for the more reason, it's just free damage on your 3. Now, it's kind of tricky the way it works. So if you go ahead and just use your 3, it's not going to proc Polynomicon on that target with that single hit. It applies on your next basic attack. So wait a couple seconds. But let's say if you're to go ahead and use your 2 and shoot it out to slow the target, and then you go ahead and use your 3, as you can see, free Polynomicon damage. That's how that works, as well as when you go ahead and teleport forward to your target and use your 3, whatever. That's how that works, just free damage. Early game, as you can see, that Polynomicon damage isn't going to be too much, so feel free to delay this later on till you get more magic power, so that way the proc hits even harder. But let's just go with it for now. From here, you can go straight into your penetration item, or you can delay that again and go with the Soul Reaver. Soul Reaver works really well with Ao Kuang, because I typically play Ao Kuang like a pure burst mage. Just no time for auto attacks, because you're probably just going to CC down and just die. So for pure burst reasons, Soul Reaver works really well for him. Again, so you can just go ahead and use your 1, teleport, and then you can use your 2, burst. Just tons of burst damage, something like that. Or you can both proc Soul Reaver and Polynomicon with your 3 all at once. You can do something like that. And then for penetration reasons, I'm not really sure why Spirit Magus is on here. Because it's flat protection shred, which is not too good against targets building magical protection like Hide the Urchin and Borg of Hope. It's only really good for targets that don't have any magical protection at all, like some or most mages. They just have 30 flat magical protection. So typically when you go into the Obsidian Shard, I go to the Obsidian Shard just for flat burst damage. You don't have to worry about stacks. If you like to use your auto attacks more often, especially if you like to use your 2 for your auto attack increase in damage, you can go to Demonic Grip instead. It builds up to 4 stacks. It's going to be more than Obsidian Shard in the end. But if you just want to get burst damage and get out and kill somebody, you're not going to throw too many auto attacks, then you definitely want to go to the Obsidian Shard. And then from here, you just go into the typical Ratatouille. And then again, you can set up Bumba's mid to late game whenever you don't need it, and you can go back and buy other items. Typically, like, just for arena reasons, I just rush the Cross Pin as my last item because it's fairly cheap, and the 20% extra cooldown can just allow me for more just executions, things like that. You can just sell it for whatever one you want. You can go to the Spirit Desolation. The problem with going to Spirit Desolation as your last item and you're not selling it with anything else is that it's very expensive. It's almost 4,000 gold. So if you can manage to pull off the Spirit of Desolation as your last item, you're going to have a lot of magic power. And what's cool about the Spirit of Desolation, it works pretty well with Ao Kuang. So as soon as you execute somebody, obviously that kills them, that procs the Spirit of Desolation passive, and so that shaves off a lot of time off of your cooldowns on your abilities, and that can allow you to dive right back into another fight and probably get another kill and just walk out. So that's how Spirit of Desolation works with Ao Kuang. Now, for Arena, I do basically the same thing, and it's my own personal build, but I do it a little bit different. I like to actually start with Soul Reaver, so you're not going to be able to buy your tier 2 right off the bat. You're going to have to buy these the Soul Reliquary, whatever that is. So you're just going to have to buy that. By the time you finish your buff camps and like the first wave of minions, you can go back and pick up Soul Trap, or you can just wait and buy a Soul Reaver first. The reason why I buy a Soul Reaver first is nobody expects it, and it's a 15% of their maximum HP, so it doesn't matter what stage of the game, it's always 15%, and you can get some early kills with this, especially if they're already low. You can just zap them with your 3, I just call it tase them. Tase them with your 3, and you can probably get some kills like that, as well as you can only do this once every 60 seconds, and getting a first item allows you to get the maximum amount of usage out of it. And then I just go into the boots. Yeah, the thing with Gold Sword first item is that you're going to be very slow, so you have to kind of work around that. Then you can go to your boots, or if you want, you can just go to boots first and then Soul Reaver. Doesn't really matter. Shoes of Magi, no real reason to go into the Shoes of Focus. And then I just go into the Polynomicon, because by this time I have both Soul Reaver and Boots, so that's a decent amount of magic power already, so your Polynomicon can hit fairly hard. And then I just go to Obsidian Shard, Rise to Hoodie, and then, like I said before, the last item, I pretty much just rush Chronos because it's cheap and easy, just cooldown and magic power, or again, you can always go to Spirit Desolation, or things like that. And yeah, the penetration, like I mentioned before, you can always switch it around. You can go into the Spirit of Desolation if you want. That's going to be a really expensive build between Spear and Rod Hootie, so it's going to be very pricey, but if you like the passive and how that works with Ao Kuang, you can just run that. And again, if you like to use your 2 for your auto attacks, then you can just go to the Demonic Grip and you can just shred people like that. Some people like Haste Ventalis, or choose to go to Haste Ventalis. I don't really feel like Haste Ventalis is actually needed at all. Your 1 closes the gap, your 2 can slow them, so there's no reason to bring out that auto attack build that far out. So I don't really feel like there's a reason for like Telekines and Haste Ventalis. So that's just my opinion, though some may disagree. So that's pretty much it for the build video. Hopefully it was helpful and maybe give you some ideas on builds you can use yourself to just suit your needs. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.